Well, to be honest, I mean, as we say in nearly every press release, I think when anyone gets a job anywhere, they were the outstanding candidate. But I think that was absolutely the case in this instance. The coaching journey that he's been on, the varied coaching journey that he's been on, the fact that he's been in this game for a long time now, his mentality and his philosophy is completely aligned with what we want to do, and more importantly, what that England white ball side has done since, when was it, 2015, since the 2015 World Cup. So I think that the decision-making process was about someone who wasn't going to come in and disrupt that environment. They obviously have a very strong leader in Owen Morgan, but also subtly enhance it along the way. And then when there's a transition, whenever that might be, a transition in leadership as much as anything else, they're the right person to then take it into the next era. That was the criteria we looked for. Mathew Mott was at the top of that list for that, or came out on top of the list for that. And also what he's done in the women's game, what he's done with that Australian side is very much, actually, you could argue, is where the England team are when he took over the Australian women. And what he's been able to do with them, I don't think should be underestimated, really. And how he's gone about it, I think it's been a serious achievement. He has made the gap greater between the rest of the pack in the women's game. And I think that there's a lot to be said for that. Well, you're making an assumption that he was the white ball candidate, which just isn't the case in any stretch. I think from very early on, when I spoke to Brendon McCullum, the red ball one is what interested him. And the biggest thing, I think, not only for the character that he is, and the same that our philosophies align on how we want the game to be played and how we think that we can get the best out of these players, is the fact that he's done this with New Zealand. I think he was the catalyst for the change in New Zealand cricket. And it took time, but you look at where that country is now with the resources that they don't have compared to other people, other countries, just made him someone that was just so attractive in that position. And he's also not someone as well that comes in and he's going to be, like a dictator. He's actually someone that's going to work brilliantly with Ben Stokes, which I think was a big part of it. So I'm very happy that Brendon was keen to give it a go, really. And I think he'll be fantastic. I mean, we never know; it might take a bit of time, but he's a bright bloke. He's everything that I think will make an excellent coach. And you can say he's got lack of experience. He's got experience as being a head coach, obviously, in white ball cricket. But man alive, he's got some experience in changing environments and being involved in Test cricket. And I tell you, he's one of those people who reads the game so well. And that's what this side needs a little bit of as well. Someone who tactically so astute, his judgment. And as we go in more and more, we'll find out more and more about Brendon and who he rates, where he thinks we need to strengthen, who should come in what role, in what department, whether that's coaching or players. I just think, I think he was so impressive when you speak to him, and hopefully you'll all see that when you listen to him. Yeah, Ollie Pope's the man that we feel has got the best, with the exception, obviously, look, you could put Joe Root. If you ask who's the best number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you probably put Joe Root down as all of those. And then after that, we feel that Ollie Pope is the man. With a lot of these guys now, it's the bet is that with the talent that they have, this environment, these coaches, Brendon McCullum, Ben Stokes, can get the best out of one of our most talented cricketers. And Ollie Pope is one of those that if we can unlock him, which I think they can, there's a seriously good Test cricketer there, whether that's number 3, whether it's number 5 in this case, or number 4. I think he could be a very, very good Test match batsman. I think he'll do a fine job. I don't think they will, actually. I think we're just going to try and pick the best team we possibly can to try and win the game. To be honest with you, I think we'll try and get the most out of James Anderson and Stuart Broad, the most out of them that we possibly can. And I'd rather have them, playing as much as possible. If they're the best 2, or if they're part of the best bowling attack, I'd rather have them in the side trying to win games of cricket for England and sort of prolonging their careers for a long, long time where they can't impact as much as possible. I think we'll try and make the most of them while we've still got them. Not at this point, no, but we're not worried or concerned about the fact that if Ben Stokes goes off the field, there's plenty of people that can do it. No, I'd love to have been able to appoint 2 English people in this role. There's no doubt about that, but it wasn't going to be the criteria, the first criteria for selection. The first one was get the best people you possibly can and people you think can add value and take the teams forward. 2 very different teams, as it were, or 2 very different teams in terms of the experience and where they're at. So it was just, who do we think is the best people to take this forward? And they're the 2 that we've ended up with.